I just want to tell you about the Driven Business Bootcamp. We finalized the location. It's going to be in Malibu. It's a mansion 100 times bigger than the past Driven 4 that we have, the Driven Cella.
Every day when you go to bed, ask yourself, did I do everything that I could have done today? Because, I see especially these young people, I'm like, you're tired? Like, what are you tired of?
Because we were nobody. Nobody knew us. We didn't get attention. We weren't popular. And I had on my dream board, I want to become a celebrity so that people listen to me, so that I can speak on stage and I control the narrative.
At the end of the day, it's communication. That's the most important part of any relationship. I always say this. Whatever it is that you have to tell your spouse or people that work for you or vice versa, like just always be open to criticism.
We lived in the high-rise, 36th floor, and I went outside many times, and for like a second, I would consider, maybe I'm gonna jump, end my life right now. And then I would just shake it off and be like, no, she's pregnant. I'm having my first baby daughter. I can't quit. I'm not a quitter. I promised my dad I would never be a quitter. Hey guys, welcome to Driven Couples, and I'm here with my beautiful wife, Syl.
Why are you wearing a hoodie?
It's really cold.
It's so cold in LA.
I don't like the cold. Usually when it's this cold, we take trips. And we go, we've taken a few trips, but
we just got back from Miami, mind you.
But we were working though. It was like
that's true.
So we're really excited. I'll start with this really quick. We're really excited because we're having our Driven Business Bootcamp. And we're nonstop hours and just getting everything ready. I had a little presentation at the office with a bunch of our good group of guys and a few girls. And we made it here, a little late, but better than not getting here. And we just want to give you guys value, want to answer questions. And we're freezing, but we're going to make it happen. Cold. We're going to make it happen. And the Driven Business Bootcamp, just so you guys know, it's sold out, so there's no more tickets. So like I said before, this show is not to sell anything. It's the opposite. We're going to give you guys $100 in a bit for whoever asks question live.
On camera.
Yeah, on camera. And we're going to be giving some money away. Before that, I just want to tell you about the Driven Business Bootcamp. We finalized the location. It's going to be in Malibu. It's a mansion 100 times bigger than the past Driven 4 that we have, the Driven Cella. It's going to be the same format, but better. It's 50 acres big, the whole lot, and it's going to be a Driven Bootcamp Cella. It's just going to be amazing. It's going to be like a theme park, like Disneyland, but on steroids, like Coachella, but on steroids, like UMF, like those of you that are Floridians. There's the Ultra Music Festival. I used to go there. I went there a few times, and they have different arenas with different music. So we're planning on a huge surprise for you guys. I'm gonna be having dinner with Billie Jean on Friday, and I'm thinking about maybe taking a few founders. So maybe a few founders. Alpha Slice is on top of my list. Maybe I'll take him Friday dinner with Billie Jean before we get started with the event, and Sunday, we have another surprise for all the founders. So people that are founders, we're going to have this huge Super Bowl party. Brad Lee's going to be staying at the house. So is Bobby and his family. So it's going to be, so far we have those two families that are going to be staying with us in the mansion. And I don't know, I was kind of thinking, I don't know, Steph, but what if we have maybe some special people, that earned it and have invested in us. Maybe they could be part of that group that stays in the mansion. But I don't know. We have a lot of surprises. Saturday, Sunday, we're gonna have a private lunch for the founders as well. So those of you guys that invested in the founders ticket, I promise you, guarantee you, or I'll give you your money back, that it's gonna be the best weekend of your life. If it's not the best weekend of your life, including like when you had your kids, when you got married, if it's not the best weekend of your life, like please ask for a refund, all you founders. Okay, the founder ticket, man. So just having said that, I'm really excited about the bootcamp. It's all business. It's not a motivational event. It's not an inspirational event. If you guys are going there and expecting me to make you cry and tell you about my story about when they got started and then try to motivate you or inspire you, it's not that kind of event. It's all information. And nonstop business strategies. What do you need to know about sales, about marketing, about systems, operation, training, taxes, credit, and much more. And remember, I said before, you don't go to events just for information. Most important part of the event is relationships. You are going to meet the most incredible relationships at this event. We have a good group of people. It's a good chunk. And these are all people that paid $10,000, $20,000, $5,000, and the people that were fortunate to get the associate ticket, which was very affordable. Some of them were $500. Those of you that squeezed in and got those tickets, you're going to be around people that are billionaires and 100 millionaires. So really excited about that event. One more thing, if you are interested in getting on the wait list, we have a wait list just in case some people can't make it because of COVID restrictions, because of traveling, like they have to quarantine and all that bullshit. So if they can't make it, we had a few people that couldn't make it because of the COVID bullshit. And people that were on the wait list, people that were ahead on the wait list, they were able to get those tickets. Those other people that couldn't make it, we give them credit for next year's event. So if you want to get on the wait list, let me know, and hopefully we could have you, or you could make it this time, or if not, for next event. But having said that, let's get started. So today we're going to talk about systems that we built to improve our relationship and to improve our businesses. We're starting our 5th company. It's an escrow company. And very excited because that's part of our triangle. That's something I will talk about at the bootcamp, how we created a triangle, which started with the mortgage guys. Then the other part of the triangle was Ambiance Realty, real estate company. And then the other part of the triangle was Driven Enterprises. All of them flow business to each other. And then we started creating companies inside the triangle, like escrow company and among others. So Syl, why don't you bless me with your beautiful voice? And I just want to appreciate your beauty and hear you talk.
What do you want me to talk about?
But what I said, systems for having an incredible relationship and an incredible business relationship. We work together and we have sex together and we make babies.
Sorry, guys, this guy, you're so bad. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's communication. That's the most important part of any relationship. I always say this. Whatever it is that you have to tell your spouse or people that work for you or vice versa, like just always be open to criticism, constructive criticism. And even when he tells me mean things, I'm like, whatever. And I tell him mean things back because I'm like, well, you're not in the greatest shape either. So I'm talking shit to me.
Ask Steph how many girls are hitting me up on Instagram, on DMs, and they're telling me that I'm a sexy papi chulo, that they want to see naked, they want to see this, that.
Man, maybe I should tell them about all the
Steph,
messages I get.
Is that true? Is that true? I even get like nudes and video nudes.
You didn't see them though, I do.
Well, is it true or not? Like I noticed that you've been throwing them to the general.
Well, you're married
messages.
to me, remember? Look,
huh?
You're married to me.
Yeah, so. Who got you that?
He's committed to me, so I don't care.
Who got you that 5.5 carat ring?
You did. You girls can send him whatever you want. He's all mine anyway. Bye.
So she was making fun of my Yeezys. Like, what do you guys think of my shoes?
I think they're so ugly.
I told Syl, if you ever leave me with my new style, my Yeezys, and my hip style, driving Ferraris and all that stuff, you would leave and all these girls would come flying at me. I would have to get bodyguards to keep them away.
Cállate. It took me seriously like
I'll go live on Instagram.
10 years or like 8 years to get him out of his Air Force Ones. Like there's a place and a time for everything, and I just personally don't like tennis shoes at all. So I'll wear them to work out, obviously, but I don't think that. I mean, right now it looks okay. Like you look super chill and super casual. What you were wearing earlier, like I told you, you don't match at all. So you look really bad.
We had one of our loan officers come in, Kendall, and he said, "Man, Albert, I love your new style."
Kendall's like 2.
Kendall is one of our top producers, one of our young top producers.
Yes.
He's closing deals every month.
And he's 2. So
and who's making the company money? Who's helping?
Kendall looks amazing when he's dressed up. He looks nice. He looks good. He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta understand that who's our audience, who's our target.
I don't care.
Millennials like
You
this.
look good
We are
when
not
you dress
recruiting
up.
dinosaurs. We are recruiting millennials. Dinosaurs don't like this. Maybe you're becoming a dinosaur.
I'm becoming a dinosaur anyway. So whatever. What are we even talking about?
Systems to improve our relationship.
No.
and
So I
our
always tell
business.
them what I think, like, and nicely, you know. But I see so many like guys, and I'm like, oh my god, don't you have like a wife that would be like, hey, you look really bad, like you don't match at all, or like you wear that shirt every other day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I personally think it's important to look really, really good at all times. Like, así, mi amor? No. Ahorita, yeah, because we're chilling, but not to do a presentation in front of half of our company.
When I started in the mortgage industry, I used to dress up and wear a tie and look like an attorney. And I was not an attorney. I was a loan originator, mortgage originator.
You needed to
So I
because you
needed
were
to
young.
because I looked young. I still look young though.
Well, you looked really young.
So I look young. So I did that for a year. And then after that, I said, you know what? I'm going to stop doing this. And I started wearing jeans, Air Forces, and T-shirts to see my clients that were baby boomers back then. And guess what? I was good. When the whole streamline refinances happened, I closed 21 one month. We were in the Virgin Islands, and guess what I used to wear? Air Forces. The first time we went to bed, Air Forces. So obviously it worked on you.
Whatever. I'm not gonna participate.
Okay, so let's start talking about our systems for business, and we already covered the whole relationship part. So now let's go on to business, and then when you have a good question, Steph, just holler at me, and then we'll pick that question, give them $100, and answer it, and go live with them. If you guys are watching on Instagram, we're gonna turn it off pretty soon, so you gotta text that number if you want the private link to continue watching. We are gonna give you guys some gold nuggets today, like incredible gold nuggets about how to build systems for relationships, for your relationship and for your business relationship if you want to work together and live together.
Well, restaurants are open now, which is exciting. We can have our dates again.
Yeah. We still
without going to to Orange County, to the OC.
Yeah.
What? You didn't even ask me anything.
No, well, I asked you to like share your knowledge about like some of the systems that we use at work, or maybe you want to talk about the systems at home, how you're in charge and I'm in charge of different things. Like you have your roles, and I have my roles. Like for example, in business, I'm the CEO. Those of you that know that, and it's not that big of a deal. It's a lot of responsibility. You know, you have to think big, create a big vision, and have ideas, and recruit, promote, speak, and all that stuff. And then you have your COO, who is this beautiful woman here. She handles operations. So she's like the operations person. She handles operations. I handle the part that CEO handles, and then we hired a CFO who handles the finance and the accounting part. So we don't get on that lane or this lane, or I stay on my lane, she stays on her lane, even though we always want to kind of get in different lanes. But it's very important to respect your lane and stay on your lane, and
in your lane.
On your lane.
In your lane.
On your lane.
In your
No,
lane.
'cause I'm on this lane right
You're
now.
in your lane. Yes.
I'm on this lane. I mean, what do you guys think? Comment if you think Syl's right or if Albert's
it's
right.
in your you stay in your lane, not on your lane.
This program is not for right
It's
grammar.
not. I'm just
speaking.
helping you be better. So you
it's-
stay in your lane.
Babe.
We all kind of stay in our lane. Everybody handles their roles, and it's important that everybody executes, because when he misses something, it affects everything we're doing and vice versa. And again, communication being the most important component of anything that's going to be successful. Little hiccups are created by not communicating effectively, or when someone just doesn't execute their part of the job, which happens sometimes.
Well, we're getting a few people texting, so I would just leave it.
But obviously, as you grow, you always have to make changes. You have to pivot. You have to change certain processes, and that's okay, because you can do that with anything. You could do that with your relationships, with your family, with absolutely anything that you do. You have to kind of find what works, whether it's for a marriage, for a business, for your kids, again, it's just about making sure everything gets done and what is the most effective way to do it.
Yeah, so guys, people are saying in and people are saying on, and they're going back and forth. So it probably is in, but I don't care. Like somebody told me, Albert, some of the words you use are wrong. And
Albert doesn't care.
And I tell this person, well, I'm getting paid to speak, bitch. So I'm getting paid to speak. I don't care if I mispronounce something or have an accent. Like, oh well. Yeah. Like, we're not here to correct each other on how we speak.
I'm just saying in your
or like writing.
It's not a big deal.
I write. It's not about like we're not here to I had a 1.8 GPA. What can you expect from me? So, Steph, do we have some questions on the Zoom?
You have say one more sentence and give me 1 second.
All right. So one of the things that I asked Syl to explain, but instead she wanted to just attack me and correct in or on.
Hi, babe.
Like what I asked you to talk about.
He's so dramatic, right?
Like, so for example, here at home, Syl, here at home, you take care. You decide if we're gonna get the girls homeschool,
yes,
or if we're gonna take them to a public school. If we're gonna paint the house white or black or gray, like I tell you, like it's not my role. So you decide what color you want it. All I want is a pool, a bar, and a view. That's it. Like I don't even need a bed. Remember, like when we moved in, I said I don't need a bed. I could sleep on the floor. I just want my important things. I need a place to sit and use my computer in the morning, and that's it. But when it's something like vaccines, of course we talk about it because that's something important that could, hurt our daughters. Kids. So we talked about it. We don't believe in vaccines. We don't do vaccines. We're not taking the COVID vaccine. We just don't believe it. It's a sensitive subject. So we'll leave it there. But we don't vaccinate our kids. Never will. Italia and Berlin have no vaccines, 0.
And they're super healthy,
and they're super
smart,
super good.
Never get sick. Steph?
Okay, so you have your first question. Please turn on camera, Fabian Velasquez.
Fabian Velasquez. Turn on camera, please.
Albert, how are you?
Hey.
Very good, brother. How are you?
Nice to see you at the EMA in the weekend. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Hey.
Thank you for having us. Yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad I did. I tried my best. Did I do pretty good or not?
Yeah, it was awesome. So, see if you could be able to tell me how do you compromise feeling the priority as your partner, Syl. How do you overcome sometimes when you make decisions, how do you guys relate to be able to execute and be able to take care of business?
Well, number one is she's in charge of operations. I'm not. So like when she asks me questions about operations, I'm like, that's not my role. That's your role. And then of course she gets bothered, but I don't care if she gets bothered. It's her responsibility. Like if we don't have any production, if we don't keep recruiting like we always do, if our numbers don't increase every month like they do, if we're not growing like we do, then that's my fault. Then tell me, hey, what's up? But guess what? I got to be consistent with my posts. I got to be consistent with my events. I got to be consistent with all the stuff that I do for marketing on social media. All that stuff is very important because if I don't do my job, she can't operate anything because there's nobody to operate. You can't operate a building that's empty with no people, no agents, no salespeople, no employees. So my job is to bring people and to promote, recruit, and create and up the revenue. Her job is operations. So we have to respect each other there. And even if we get mad or we don't like it, and I'm not gonna argue. Like yesterday, she got mad. We had some friends over, and she made some beautiful food, like chicken, fried chicken. It's the best fried chicken that you'll ever taste in your life.
It's
like,
healthy fried
It's
chicken.
a healthy like chicken, like McDonald's, but it doesn't give you those runs, So she made that healthy chicken, and then we had some wine, some red wine, and she had more than she should, and then we were going to bed, and it's already late. I woke up really early. We had a long day, and when she drinks and it goes to the different side of the brain, I think she wants to like argue.
I think you're confused about a totally different time, because yesterday you went to bed and
you don't remember.
Didn't even
you don't remember,
argue.
yeah, because you had your wine, and then when we're going to sleep, you wanted to like argue about some work stuff. And what I learned from Bobby and Sophia is you don't argue unless you're gonna get. It's a good argument to get divorced. So I just shut my eyes, covered myself with the pillow, and ignored her. And 2 minutes, she got tired of arguing with herself, and then and then she woke up 3 hours later.
He considers arguing.
And now she.
He
and now she don't interrupt me, please. And now she wasn't happy, and now she was happy again, and everything was.
Let
perfect.
me know when I can talk.
Yeah, everything was perfect. So that's what I do.
Annoying.
Like we don't argue because I don't let the argument go further. Like when it's something like that, look, I know you had drinks, you want to argue about work. I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm not gonna participate. I cover myself with the pillow, and it's done. In the morning, she wakes up, she surprises me with a surprise, and she's happy. Goes away. No need to like take it to that next level. Now we have a CFO now. Handles finances. So we respect the CFO with her finances and accounting, and then we all stay in our lane. I learned something today.
Good. You should learn something every day. So to correct him, because he's super like dramatic. He loves to create chaos for everybody, and he doesn't help at all, like zero. He is the most unhelpful person like on this planet ever. He's like, oh, well, these people are coming over. I'm like, okay, dude, like maybe you can let me know like 2 hours in advance. You know, not like last minute where it's like, okay, maybe I don't have everything that I need. And I like to make people happy and be catering to people. But he's the most disorganized, unhelpful person ever, like on the fucking planet. So to be clear, okay, if you want to be an asshole, I could be a bigger bitch. So last night, I was just telling him, I'm like, hey, Albert, like, this, and I wasn't drunk because I remember everything. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to chill. And what are you like? No. And I'm like, I need to watch like 20 minutes of TV or something, like, and just kind of shift, because we always have a lot of things going on. And guess who takes the 100 calls we get a day? Not Albert at all. He just acts like he does. I take all the phone calls. I handle everything. I make sure we don't get any lawsuits. I diffuse situations. And then he just keeps throwing things at me. So, okay, you want me to keep talking?
Yeah, that's your role.
I can keep talking.
So you should be doing that.
Okay.
And because if I didn't have people, you didn't have anybody to take calls from.
Yeah, and if I didn't.
Exactly. So it's everybody has their own roles, and it's a team. And we did go see a movie or a TV over there.
I just turned on the TV so I could think about something else.
But instead of turning it on, or you turned it on and you wanted to like argue about something, so I just said I'm not going to participate.
So arguing.
Luckily,
you're mistaken, because arguing is arguing. I simply said, hey, this, and this, and you take it as arguing because you're so dramatic.
You wanted to discuss something about work.
Oh yeah, and so what? When else do we get to talk? When we're running around for hours every day?
We had a great talk today when we were driving.
Yeah, we did. So anyway.
Thank you. Yeah,
You're welcome.
And also, just to close that.
He's like, what just happened?
Like our roles. So she has her roles, and I have my roles, and our CFO has her roles, and then, we go from there. But when you have your roles and you have a list of things you have to do, you, like what you said, prioritize. You have to prioritize. So important things first, veggies first. So veggies are things that are good for you, for your wealth, to create wealth for you, but you always leave till the end because they're harder. They take longer. They're more complicated, but they're important. Like it's like important things you should do first, and then leave all the other things for later. So she has important things to deal with. I have important things to deal with. And our CFO has important things to deal with. So you do those important things first, which are, I call veggies.
Yeah.
And then you do the rest. Most people start with all the easy things.
And don't get anything done.
And they don't get any important thing done. And then they're like, and that's because they don't know how to prioritize. Everybody prioritizes different things.
Yeah, and we always come to an agreement. At the end of the day, it'll be like, okay, this is what he believes, this is what and we always either meet halfway or I just completely won't agree. And I'm like, okay, well then you do it yourself. But normally I'm always right. When he's right, rarely I let him know, okay, you were right. But girls just know better. Like I know what it takes, the details, the steps, and men kind of, it's like, ooh, over their head. Not every man, but this one.
What about gay men?
I mean, they have they're like the best of both worlds.
That's why we have some gays.
Yeah. And we always leave work at work, but you know, like sometimes I have like things we don't have time to talk. We're like back to back to back. Like right now he's going to ask me what I'm going to make him for dinner and I'm going to say nothing. What are you going to make me for dinner if you want to be rude? So, you know, we always come to agreements and we just.
If you're watching this and you're a chef, I am seriously looking for a full-time chef. 8 in the morning till 5 p.m. is perfect for me. So you could cook healthy breakfast, healthy lunch, and healthy dinner. I'll pay you good, and I need. If I had that I wouldn't have to make myself food if she gets mad, and I would avoid having to order like Uber Eats or some of that stuff because I don't like ordering out like outside food. It's not the healthiest. It's not fresh.
Yeah.
I like having fresh stuff, like fresh everything.
True. But it takes a lot of time to cook.
It's really good. Thank you, Albert and Syl. I just want to close it up. And where do you prioritize you guys' personal time that you guys have besides the business?
When we can squeeze it in.
Yeah,
right?
well, we pretty much. Well, I want to let you talk.
Yeah.
But our weekly relationship improvement dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, today something happened, but I don't want to talk about that. But also whenever we feel like it, sometimes, you know, like
we just take off.
It's a Monday or Tuesday, and we done crazy shit. Like it's a Tuesday, and I tell her let's fly to Hawaii tonight, and then we pack and we get a ticket. We usually because we do it Thursdays.
Yeah.
That way we go on Thursday, we come back by Monday.
We don't miss a lot.
We don't waste like the work days because people work Monday to Friday, and weekends, like normal people don't work weekends. We do. We work on trips. We're always working, to answer your question, but sometimes if we feel like it, we just disappear. Like whenever we want. So we built a life that we could do whatever we want, but we love working so much, right?
Yeah, we really love working. See, that's our thing. We've always been workaholics. Ever since I met him, he would do real estate. I would do he would do loans and I would do real estate. And we always find time for everything, but I always tell people if you want to keep moving on ahead in life, you have to know the things that you absolutely have to do to keep moving forward. And what are your priorities? What's going to get you a monetary return? Not just like a barbecue for fun, which I'm not saying don't, but do you have to do that every weekend when you can maybe go pick up a listing or pick up a signing, a new client? You know what? That's how we are. We've always been like that. But like he said, sometimes like we're in the office and when everything was open, like Robertson, the Ivy, everything's reopening now. But we'll just be like, okay, we look at our calendar, like Steph's like, hey, there's nothing. So we're like, okay. And he's like, you want to go on a date? I'm like, let's go. And it just works for us, you know, always prioritizing work first.
Right.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Syl.
You're welcome.
You know, I follow you guys all the way. You know, you guys always inspire me. I'm always, you know, going for the go. So I really appreciate it, all your support. And I know you do it for the people. You care about the people, and I'm right behind you, brother.
Thank you, brother. I want to go to the next question, but before, really quick, like you guys see, and we get a lot of criticism, but I understand that criticism is important. Like, I don't care if people DM my wife and they tell her, your husband's a fucking asshole and you should divorce him and he treats you bad. Because I also get DMs where husbands tell me, Albert, you're a role model to us. We love you. I like the way you don't let your wife punk you. You taught me to not let myself. And when my wife tries to punk me, you put her in her place. So I get a lot of DMs like that from guys like, yeah, you're awesome, Albert. I learned that. Now I'm not going to let my wife punk me. Whenever she gets like tries to be tough and punks me, I'm gonna put her in her place. So it's the same.
Yeah.
But the reason why that happens is because we're real. You know, like we're on here, and I'm not trying to be Mr. Perfect, and she's not trying to be Miss Perfect, and we're just being ourselves. Like off camera, we're the same. Ask Stephanie. and ask Jesus. Like she'll tell me some crazy shit sometimes, and I answer her crazy shit
But we don't
back.
disrespect each other
Yeah,
or
we don't
hit each
disrespect
other.
ourselves. Like I'm not like
He does
like,
annoy me. That's normal.
I never say like you hoe, you bitch, you like she doesn't call me like you fucking asshole, and like
Sometimes I call him an ass.
so like we don't disrespect each other. Like we're not
Or a
disrespecting
jerk.
each other. She's just giving me her attitude, and I'm giving her my attitude back. And we do that at work. Yeah. And then we have some beautiful sex together. We have beautiful sex and we have beautiful babies. So like it's just that's how we are. Like once we get off this live, I'll probably convince her to cook for me, or maybe I'll say something wrong again, and then she'll be like, "I'm not cooking for you. Handle it." And then I'll decide, okay, well I have options. What do I do? Now I have to get Uber Eats, or I have to make myself some eggs because that's the only thing I know how to make. But that's why if you guys are watching this, if you're watching this later on YouTube, please, I beg you, if you're a chef and you want to join me, I'm serious, I will hire you. I just want to make sure that you're also good. So thank you, brother. We're going to go to the next question. I'll see you at the boot camp.
See you at the boot
te veo en el
camp.
boot camp.
My Albert.
Ariel Obando.
It's really cold. We're so spoiled here in Cali because it's always so good weather.
Hey, what's going on, Syl and Al?
Hey.
How are you, brother?
What's up?
Pretty good. Just finished work. Hey, you hear my son in the back.
That's awesome.
My question
Say
to you is, I've been going to conferences for a few years. I'm actually going to the Driven Business Bootcamp in upcoming weeks. But I know that I want to bring my fiance with us, but sometimes I feel like I'm not maybe communicating correctly. What I need to start doing, she's actually listening. What do I need to start doing, or what type of things should we start doing so we can go to conferences together and actually enjoy it? Because I've been to your conference and I see a lot of couples there, and I find that super powerful. I would like to also bring my fiance with me, but I feel like I'm not positioning any enticement to it, or maybe I'm not communicating correctly.
Yeah, and I'll let Syl answer that one because I think she has a good answer for that one. But you attract what you follow. So most people that follow us, they're couples, and people that are single, they see us and they're like, you know what? One day I want to have a wife like Syl. And people ask me like, hey, where do you find a wife like Syl? Mm-hmm. Obviously, they don't really see like when she gets naughty and all that inside stuff. That's things that happen at home and other stuff. But like we're pretty the same outside and inside, like I talk about. But they see us and it's normal, man. Like if you have a wife, you're gonna have some discussions that she likes to call them. But it's gonna happen, and they're healthy. Like sometimes I piss her off just so that I have better sex. Like it's gonna happen. So people see us and they're like, "Oh, I want to find a girl like that." Oh, and then girls see her and they're like, "Oh, I want to have a cool guy like Albert." They're like, "Where do I find an Albert?" But answer this question, you have pretty good feedback.
So look, I'll tell you what. I know your fiance is listening, so I just want to say it's important for both of you to have the same goals, the same ambitions, because then it helps you not really to convince her, but to enroll her as far as what the vision is. And growing together is extremely important, because if you don't see eye to eye, like we are always like this, by the way, and it's not that we fight, but sometimes he does, make my life a lot harder than it has to be, because we miss a little detail that he forgot to tell me, and then it creates strain for everyone. But like I told Steph, this is never going to change. This is Albert. I've been with him forever, and just knowing that you could get somewhere together faster if you're on the same page, if you're growing together, if you have the same information, if you're willing to understand, that maybe sometimes, especially when you have, I don't know if that was your baby in the background, but understanding that sometimes once you have kids, things there's more organizing, more things that you have to worry about. So knowing that sometimes you have to stay behind, because when we didn't have any kids before Italia, I would always tag along with him. He would sometimes not even invite me, but I was always there with him, and because I love information, I love learning, I love money, and I don't ever want to be how I was growing up with no money. You know, so I was always willing to do whatever it took to work harder, to move faster, to be smarter, to look better, to dress better, to keep my body looking good, because, you know, people like good looking people, you know, and that's just the world we live in. So just talking about it.
Like today I called you out because you didn't do cardio.
He did call me out, but he doesn't know that I did a badass leg workout in the office, and I don't eat bad. So
yeah, but if you do weights and not cardio, you're just gonna get bulky, and you're gonna get like swollen. You know, like you gotta do cardio. Cardio is important.
So
like every girl should do like at least 40 minutes of cardio a day.
Okay, well, anyway, so you know that's important, and just before when we couldn't afford, I don't know where you stand financially, but when we couldn't afford, you know, events for both of us, because you're talking $4, $5, $6, $1,000, $10, $15, $20,000 an event, seeking that information that will get you there faster once you execute. So I would go with him. You always have to get a hotel. So I would stay in the hotel, wait for him, and kind of go in and out like from the lunches. And then he always makes everybody his friends. So then he's like, oh, you want to meet my wife? And then somehow I end up there with him, and like all the conferences we used to go to. And the last day, like nobody really cares. A lot of people leave. So then I was able to be there sitting with him, and I'm like a sponge. When people don't think I can hear you, I can hear everything in every room. I am in everything always, which is a blessing and a curse at once. But
you always used to catch me when I was like sending some text messages.
Yeah, I'm really like just on everything. Like I'm very in tune with.
Sometimes like even from like far away corners, you would like hear what I would say on my phone.
Yeah. So anyway, you know, talk about it, and even if right now, you know, you don't go to a lot of events, you know, I would consider bringing her here.
He has to.
Yeah. So, but I don't know if we
look,
have
like
seats.
very important, and everybody watching on Instagram, let's take it off, Jesus, and just save the number so they could text it. If you guys want to continue watching this, text that number for the private link. We're gonna cut you guys off. We'll see you guys next time, and we're gonna continue the live. But very, very, very important. Remember that your girl is the last person you sleep with.
Yes.
So it's the last person that you talk to
at night.
So if you come to the Driven Business Bootcamp, even though you're gonna meet so many incredible relationships and you're gonna learn so much stuff, and you're gonna have the time of your life, you're gonna get home, you're gonna be like what's your wife's name?
It's fiance, babe.
Fiance.
We could say wife. Her name is Marianne.
Okay, Marianne. So you're gonna get back. You're gonna say, Marianne, like I'm so excited. You know what? Albert was amazing. He did this and that, and he told me that I could be a millionaire or a multimillionaire or even a billionaire. And I got to meet Billie Jean and Brad Lee, and we had lunch together.
Yeah.
They invited me to Vegas and blah blah blah. You get home all excited, pumped up, and then she's like,
doesn't
follow. That's a gimmick. That's not true. Everybody's gonna tell you that, and then she's gonna, she's not getting the same information. So then she might have other information from other people, and other people might be telling her, oh, those events are all, they're fake. They just want to take your money, and you're not gonna get nothing out of them. I'll tell you something. Every time I went to events, and every time I go to an event, she comes with me.
Yeah.
When we're gonna meet a
Always.
relationship, she comes with me, and I tell her, and a lot of times she tells me, I don't want to go. You go by yourself. I'm tired. Oh, I got to do. I don't want to go.
Well, now that we have two kids, I do sometimes.
And she knows, like, you go. You're coming. And I said, whether you drag the girls along, you hire a nanny, or we fly, you're coming. You're coming. So she knows that she comes, and every time she's like, oh my God, Albert, you were so right. Bradley is amazing. Oh my God, we went to see Bobby and we met his brother and Marcos. Those guys are hundreds, and his brother's a billionaire, and his other friend is hundreds of millions of worth. And I met the wives. Yeah. And oh my God, you're so right. So I'm always right. So she believes in me.
Babe,
now.
the only times that I'm like, I don't need to be there right now is because also like he forgets that, we have two kids and I can't just be absent all the time. Like we literally tag team in that department, because I don't want to be a mom that leaves her kids with the nannies all day, every day, 24/7, and then your kids don't even know you. Like last night, I'm like, no, I'm like, okay, you can leave. And I had him here. I was making dinner, and then of course Berlin wakes up, and you kind of just have to juggle everything. but I love being around powerful, successful, smart people, and I'm paying attention. Like, what do they say? How do they act? How do they carry themselves? And I've always done this. So, bring her with you.
He has to bring her with him. He has to bring her. I'm gonna like drop somebody from the list stuff and make a space. Or look, I'll make a space for you. So make sure you DM. Send me a DM or text me. You should have my number, and then we'll get your wife in.
It'll be easier for her to understand your madness once you go kind of crazy. It won't be like so much, like discussions or whatever.
Cool, I appreciate that. On my end, I'll figure out how to get a nanny or someone to help us out, because we're on the West Coast by ourselves, so we don't really know nobody out here. But we'll figure that out. But appreciate that out.
Awesome, brother. Get your mom, your dad, or your best friend or somebody and make it happen.
Well, someone you trust, of course.
Yeah, somebody that you trust. It's your kid. Awesome. Steph, we have next one?
We have another question, but they don't want to get on the camera. Ask them again. Her name is Joanna. She doesn't come on the camera. I have the next person.
She could
right,
speak,
Joanna,
though. She doesn't have...
Get on the camera and let's do that question. If not, we'll go to the next one.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are yourself?
Good. Just here with this
Good.
crazy.
So I have a couple questions. The first one is, if you could go back and do things differently, would you want to go back and change the process, or have you guys enjoyed the journey?
I wouldn't change anything.
Me
As soon as
neither.
it's not saved,
Honestly, I don't. People always ask me, what's your biggest regret? Like, I don't regret anything. I believe in myself so much and my ability to make decisions. I don't regret anything. I don't everything. Everything you experience brings you to the place that you are. Assuming you're getting better every year, doing your part to get the self-improvement that you need in whatever department you need it. But I love, as I mentioned, we love working. I love people, good people. Being surrounded by amazing individuals is key, and him and I are blessed enough to have gotten rid of all the garbage that we had in our lives that, sometimes it takes a little bit of time, and people, they don't necessarily have to be, sometimes they don't know they're bad and you don't know they're bad, and then once you're not with them and then you start seeing that you're getting better and better and better, and you have to be able to cut all that. It's heavy dead weight and you don't even know it until it's gone, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can walk a little faster, I feel a little better, and then you just grow exponentially instead of slowly, because it's so heavy to drag these people along, So I don't regret anything. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing, because I'll give you quick examples. I did cocaine, I got 3 DUIs, I was incarcerated fighting in the street, I almost lost my eye, was kicked by 10 guys and got cornered and kicked and beat up and blacked out because of all the...
Because you were in the wrong place at the wrong time by his own choice.
And a lot of a lot of mistakes. I mean, I could have killed someone.
Yeah.
When I was driving crazy, blacked out. I made a lot of mistakes. But look, if I wouldn't have done that, then maybe I wouldn't be here where I am today. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be where I am today, because it took me all those stupid mistakes to
end up here,
to end up this wise and to get the experience. You can't buy experience. So what you could buy is a mentor and see their mistakes and learn from them and not do them. But 99% of the people, they don't learn like that. You kind of have to make your own mistakes. Like Syl made mistakes. She got her DUIs. She has her share of fun that she had. And she could have been dead also. And one day she got, she
not
got
1,001 guys
she
like
got,
you.
she got thought. Well, I didn't have 1,000 guys. I had 1,000 girls.
No, well, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be with guys, not with girls.
I mean, so I mean, what about threesomes? So what I'm saying is, Syl one time got a DUI, and then she was born in Mexico, not here. True story. You guys will hear the full story later when it's time. But she ended up going to jail, and then they found out, you were born in Mexico. What about this? What about that?
The second DUI.
Yeah.
So I had a warning, and then I had a second warning.
So she ended up staying stuck, I think it was 25 days?
23, I think. I have to look.
In a little cell where you can't even move. It was horrible. I don't think it could get worse than that. So she had to go through all that pain. So did I, to get here, and now we're like, no, we're not. And usually when you black out and drive and get into all those problems and cocaine and drugs, is because you're with the wrong people.
Yeah.
Like now we're with quality people. We're with people that are higher than us, so that we're always leveling up and they're pushing us higher.
Yeah.
And these people are not doing stupidity.
Yeah.
You know, these people are wise, they have families, and we're learning from them. And guess what? We are responsible. If we're gonna drink, we drink responsibly. We're not driving, blacking out, doing things like that.
Yeah.
We're not doing drugs. We have our kids, they have their kids. So it's all a game of levels. Like when right now you're your average of your 5 closest friends. So maybe it's time to drop the lowest one or replace the lowest one with a higher one, and that way you level up. Every day you should be improving 1%. Me, every day I want to do 1% better. Every time like I work out, it has to be 1% harder. Every time we sex, 1% harder. So every time is 1%. I'm always looking for that 1%.
Yeah, so don't regret anything. Trust yourself. Make calculated decisions. Make sure you research, because so many people are easily influenced. And I'm like, didn't you just see like the stats? Like you didn't read common sense. You have to be able to get 50 things, analyze them, and say, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, or this is what I'm gonna do. And it doesn't matter what everybody else is doing, because you should be doing your own research for yourself. Cool?
Yes, thank you so much. I love that answer.
You're welcome.
Awesome. You love my answer or her answer?
Second question. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so have you ever felt close to a point where you felt like you were burning out, like you're about to give up? And
Let me answer that
to
question.
help you like keep moving and not give up?
Look, I always been in charge of finances, like our finances, personal finances. So like I control all the money. So and I'm a huge dreamer. Like my vision is the highest ever on this planet. So I put ourselves in a really, really dangerous spot where I just went all in, put all the money that we had, made a lot of mistakes, and we were running out of money. And we were fortunate that we bought a lot of multi-units properties, and those properties went up in value. So when we started our business, I was putting everything back to the business, and I went crazy because our business wouldn't grow, because we were nobody knew us, we didn't get attention, we weren't popular. And I had on my dream board, I want to become a celebrity so that people listen to me, so that I speak on stage and I control the narrative. And then I got a Ferrari with my last pennies. Then I got a nice watch with my last pennies. I moved to a building I couldn't afford with my last pennies. And then she got pregnant. And then I couldn't cut payroll on Friday. And then it was horrible. We lived in the high rise, 36th floor. And I went outside many times, and for like a second, I would consider maybe I'm gonna jump, end my life right now. And then I would just shake it off and be like, no, she's pregnant. I'm having my first baby daughter. I can't quit. I'm not a quitter. I promised my dad I would never be a quitter, a fucking little bitch quitter. And I stopped. And I said, what? I need to get up and do something, or I have to not sleep. I would wake up at 12:30 and at midnight, lose sleep, and get to work. What can I sell? I got to sell these shoes, this computer. I got to sell my watch. I got to do this to get some money. We got to sell our property. We sold the property, got some money, survived. I cut payroll. And then next week or a month later, I don't have money for payroll again. A sale comes through, cut payroll. And then 6 months later, we got to sell another property. It was like this for 6 months, for 6 years. For 6 years, I was living paycheck to paycheck, thinking for a second every now and then, maybe it's time for me, maybe it's the end. Maybe it's time for me to take my life away. And it's a true story. I battled heart attacks. I couldn't swallow my food. I would turn purple in front of the dining table in front of my parents. True story, guys. And people made fun of me. Ha, 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 this guy's rents his Ferraris. This guy's faking it till he makes it. Ha, ha, he lives paycheck to paycheck. Of course I live paycheck to paycheck, because I was trying to survive my business. I was trying to save my business. I was trying to make my dream a reality. I used to hide everything from Syl.
I knew.
She had no clue about what was going on
did.
until later when she started seeing, wait, why are my credit cards maxed out? Wait, why do you have a late on my credit cards? Wait,
why is all my money gone?
Why is my bank account empty? And then I would tell her, well, you know, and I told her, we got to sell this property. She started crying. We're in Miami, and she tells me, like, she started crying. Italia was already born. She was already a couple of years old, 2 years old, and now Berlin's on her way. And I tell her, look, this is our second to last property, I know, but we got to sell it. We got to sell it, and this is my last opportunity. I know this is going to be the last chance I need. Just believe in me. I promise you, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it work. I promise you. And we sell the property. We get the money. We survive another month. And then everything starts to work out. Now all the money I invested in all the speakers, in the Driven events, in the company, in marketing and getting known and getting verified and creating relationships, everything starts working. Now people start paying me a lot of money. Now every agent wants to be part of our company. Now every influencer wants to collaborate with me. And I'm like, wow, 1 inch away. When most people quit, when you're like 1 inch away from the finish line, they quit. I didn't. And I did it for her, for my family, and for all the people that are part of the company. And it worked out. But it takes a lot of pain. And how far you get in life, how successful you get, is going to depend on your pain tolerance. How much pain can you tolerate? I could tolerate anything. And I did it for her.
Yeah, and just to add a little bit to that, believing in what you're doing and being a good person will take you a long way, you know, and like we just had all the wrong people around us. We try to help them and I'm like, they're just not ready. And then it becomes like, I'm like, what is happening? Like, what the hell is happening? And slowly those people start to disappear and you start attracting better people as you keep growing and leveling up. That's why I always say it might not be a bad person, but not everybody can grow with you. And that's okay. You know, you either level up or you're going to get left behind, you know, not in a bad way. It's just life. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse, you know, so believing in what you're doing, which I don't know what you do, and putting every day when you go to bed, ask yourself, did I do everything that I could have done today? Because, you know, I see, especially these young people, I'm like, you're tired? Like, what are you tired of? Like, of what? Like, it sucks. It's sad because I'm like, we are our own worst enemy, you know? Like, what do you have to do in a day? Make sure you get your priorities done. And if you walk a little bit faster, you can get a lot more done. But unfortunately, people are distracted all day, every day. Like, there's so many distractions nowadays that you have to, like, hold yourself accountable and say, okay, you know, willpower. It's funny because I don't know who I was telling the other day. When Instagram barely came out, I mean, it was like back like four years ago when I literally had to delete the app from my phone because I would get sidetracked.
When you had more followers than me?
Yeah, I would get sidetracked. I'm like, oh shit. And then I would look and like 20 minutes went by and I'm like, oh my God. So I literally deleted the app completely because I'm like, I can't be doing this. Like, that's not good. You know, I know what I need to do, but unfortunately, I got distracted. I went sideways and now I'm like, oh, now I have to go back this way, reroute, and it takes time to get refocused. So having the control of what you do is very important, just like controlling what you eat. If you can't control what you eat, then how are you going to control your life and make sure you get to where you want to go? You know, it's just little things, you know, habits, important. But again, every night ask yourself, today, did I do everything I could have done? You know, because how many times it's Sunday. You have all these things to do and you have to go to work on Monday. You know, your personal life, Saturday, Sunday, nights, whatever. And what do? Sit down and watch a whole show of Netflix. And then you wonder why your laundry's piling up, your kitchen is dirty, you know, and you don't get anywhere. It's because you waste so much time and people don't realize how precious it is and how quickly it goes by. So just, you know, pay attention to all those things.
Yeah, guys. So we're going to take 2 more questions and end today's Driven
Good?
Couples. Are we good?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sylvia, your response was, wow, blew my mind. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next question is from
Cris Perez.
Crispe.
Christine?
Cris
Crispre.
Crisper. Hey, how many? What's our time?
We're at 52 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
He's telling him to mute himself.
Okay,
Unmute
Chris,
yourself.
Ahí está.
unmute, please.
Hola, mi nombre es Cristian Peralta.
Hola.
Christian Peralta. Oh, it's not Crisper.
Su username dice Crispe.
Christian Peralta. Ni que fueras gringa.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
¿Qué tal? Siempre los estoy siguiendo. Tengo una pregunta más que nada como pareja. A lo que voy es que algunos estados, como ustedes dicen en algunos videos, dan más préstamos a las personas solteras que a las personas casadas. Entonces, si yo me caso después de que esa persona haya aceptado sus propiedades, ¿es bueno o es recomendable casarse con bienes juntos o todo separado, o que las propiedades vayan a nombre de la empresa, que se forme como real estate?
Pues mira, pues si te casas con alguien ya todo es igual. ¿Dónde vives?
En Florida.
Ok, so si te casas con alguien ya no sé qué tipo de préstamos tengan por allá, pero
Lo mismo.
calificas para más, pero depende. FHA, si tú tienes un FHA, ella tiene un FHA, ya cuando te casas es solo uno, porque ya son una unidad. Cuando te casas es una unidad, so es importante calificarte, ver qué tipo de préstamos hay. Para eso hay que buscar un buen prestamista, porque el prestamista te va a decir, ok, puedes hacer ta. Y si te casas es esto y esto y esto, porque las deudas de él se me pasan a mí y las mías a él, y te tratan como una unidad, básicamente. So, si pueden hacer algo separado, pero en realidad es que depende qué es lo que buscas hacer. Hay muchas diferentes cosas que se pueden hacer.
So, Cristian, ¿ya te casaste o todavía no?
Yo ya estoy casado.
Ok, pues ya te chingaste un poquito, porque antes de casarte lo que se tiene que hacer es tu esposa o tu novia que se compre 4 unidades FHA.
¿There's FHA en Florida?
Y tú, sí, en todos Estados Unidos. Y tú te compras 4 unidades FHA. Y ahora ya tienen 8 con el mínimo, con solamente 3.5% de enganche. Ella y 3.5% de enganche tú. Si se casan, ahora ya no pueden comprar 4 y 4. Ahora solamente pueden comprar 4 juntos.
Mira, ahí está el Jomar.
Porque están casados. Pero tenemos que ver el otro lado de la moneda. Ya que te casaste, ahora, ¿qué puedes hacer? Ahora compren 4 unidades FHA juntos, y ya después de ahí empiezas a compras otras 4, pero las próximas 4 ahora tienes que poner el 25% de enganche. Eso es lo malo, porque ahora ya no puedes comprar 4 y 4 con el 3.5. Ahora nomás son 4 y luego las otras 4, 25%. Por eso yo digo que es muy importante antes de casarse. Ya sé que a veces te tienes que casar porque no hay sexo aunque hasta que te cases, pero tienes que considerar los dos factores. Por ejemplo, Silvia se quería casar conmigo y se moría de ganas.
No es
y yo le
cierto.
dije, te esperas porque yo primero voy a comprar mis 3 y tú tienes que comprar las 4 tuyas. Ya cuando tú compres las 4, ya nos casamos. Ahora tienes tu anillo de 5.5 carats. Ya.
Tenía una pregunta inicial, cambió la pregunta cuando la escribió.
Ajá.
Pero su pregunta inicial fue, ¿ustedes como pareja aconsejan casarse con bienes separados o todo compartidos a medias, como el ejemplo de Jeff Bezos terminó separado?
Sí, creo que también lo mencionaste, esa parte de la pregunta, pero, yo tenía un poquito de dinero, ganaba bien y me iba a la disco y me divertía, y perdí todo. Y en el 2008 me quedé sin nada, en un carro, dormía en un carro por 2 meses. Ella se quedaba a dormir en el carro conmigo en el Ford Explorer. Por 2 meses se quedó a dormir conmigo hasta que yo pude sacar un préstamo y ganar para poderme quedar a dormir a un techo. Yo si ella estuvo conmigo cuando no tenía nada, nos casamos, todo es mitad y mitad, ¿no? Yo no ocupé un prenup agreement o nada de eso. Yo no tengo eso porque yo digo, si ella estuvo conmigo cuando no tenía nada y todo lo construimos juntos, y cuando nos casamos no tenía nada, so que mitad de qué, de mierda. So yo nomás así lo hicimos juntos y ahora si ella me dejaría y se va con otro, pues yo si me consigo obviamente me voy a conseguir una jovencita, bonita y todo. Yo sí voy a poner un prenup agreement
pues sí.
y voy a cuidar, porque ahora ya sí tengo varo y obviamente no le voy a dar nada. Si se quiere casar conmigo, voy a proteger mis cosas, pero es diferente, es dependiendo de la
del
circunstancia,
caso,
¿verdad?
Yeah.
Excelente respuesta. Eso es exactamente lo que quería escuchar. Muchas gracias por todo y te sigo en todo. Cuídense mucho y mucha salud para ustedes.
Gracias.
Gracias, hermano. Te deberías de venir al bootcamp con Jomar, con Alpha Slice, con todos los mis Floridians.
Jomar, califícalo.
Oh, yeah. So Jomar, aquí está. Jomar, nomás rapidín, si te puedes presentar con él para que lo puedas ayudar.
Sí, por favor. No hay problema.
Yeah. I got you, brother. I'll send you my Instagram.
Ok, perfecto.
Ahora así como si estuviera single, yo le diría a las chicas, hey, I'll send you my Instagram.
Last question is for Anthony Corona Official.
Anthony Corona Official, last question. Better be a good one, brother.
All right, man. I'll try. So, my girlfriend thinks that my friends are losers, and but
she's probably right.
She's probably right.
She doesn't know them though. Like,
that's different.
She just sees what I tell them about, like when we used to party and all that. But now I know their ambitions. I know their businesses. We talk about the money we make, and she's like, yeah. She just sees what she remembers from when we were like in high school. You guys as a couple, how do you guys choose your friend groups?
Oh, bro, that's a really good question. I'll answer it really quickly so I could have Syl add to it. But I got rid of so many of her loser friends, and she got rid of some of my loser friends. And the beautiful people, but they're losers. Like, they're not the people we want to be like. And then we started creating relationships like the ones I have now. So then I started leveling up. I talk about that, levels. Like, you're going to be the average of your 5 closest friends. So sometimes you always have to look for relationships. So if you're coming to the boot camp, which I hope you are, make sure you're not at the boot camp for information. I know I tell people it's great information, but if you're part of Driven Academy, it's going to go on Driven Academy. Okay, you're going to get the information there, but what you're never going to get from Driven Academy are relationships.
Yeah.
When you are a founder, you get a founder's ticket, you're having private lunch with a select 80 people. It's 80 founders. Select 80 founders and the speakers in a private area. You're having like the best quality lunch Saturday and Sunday. You have them close. Then you go to the Super Bowl party and you're partying. You're having tequila, champagne, whatever you like, or I don't know, whatever you like, smoking weed. But you're there doing that, or smoking cigars with Bradley. You're hanging out with these people that have built companies worth over 100 million, over $1 billion.
Yeah.
And if one of those people, they want to drink tequila shots all night, shoot me 10 of them with you. Yeah, but it's with the right people. Before, I used to drink tequila, the cheap kind, not the good kind now that I drink with my friends, because my friends now are picky. They don't drink regular champagne. They drink like $400, $1,000 bottles of champagne. They don't drink the normal wine. They drink the $2,000, $3,000 wine. It's different, but I'm learning. I'm creating that relationship. Before, I used to drink the cheap tequila, which ended in cocaine and getting in trouble, bar fights, getting incarcerated. So it's the level of connections you make. So what I suggest for you, very important, at the boot camp, connect with, pick 3 people, because there's going to be so many ballers and good people in this event. Connect with them. And let me give you even a better advice. Don't go to Bobby, because Bobby's going to be so busy. Everybody's going to go to Bobby. Don't go to Bradley. Bradley's going to be so busy because everybody's going to attack them. and they're not even going to remember you because they're going to have 20 people around them. But talk to the wife. See, this is worth millions of dollars, so this value that I'm giving you right now. Make the wife your friend. Find out what the wives like to drink, or if the wives are not there and they're with their assistant or their right hand, go talk to the right hand. When everybody's attacking, harassing Albert and Brad and all these people, go to the wife. And I'm not saying like harass my wife, but harass my wife. Like get the right hand. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
And he did have a lot of friends that he shouldn't have been hanging out with, and you can tell that very easily because even if I wasn't with him, I knew who he was with, and I've already hung out with them, but he just did a lot of stupid things. And I'm like, why are you hanging out with your brother's friends? His brother is how much younger than you? 7 years. So it's like they're little kids. So what are you gonna do? Get into little kid problems, little kid shit. Now, if you hang out with like super successful people, not saying that they don't do stupid shit because we're all human, but you're gonna be learning the information, especially people that are way up here. And you know, it's just like, who do you want to be like? Who do you hang out with? Because you're gonna end up being like them, and you have a better chance of succeeding if you have successful friends. Cool? All right. I think we are done for today.
Awesome, guys. So just, I'm really excited. Next weekend is the Driven Business Bootcamp. So I think I'm going to see most of you there, or a lot of you there. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of work. We want to make sure that it's 100 times better than the previous event that we did. So, you know, we might be overwhelmed. We're going to try to do Driven Couples next week. In Spanish and English, among a shitload of shit we have to do. So hopefully we could get it done. If not, we're gonna skip it for the next week, but we're gonna do our best to make it happen. But we truly have a lot on our plates right now, and our minutes are so valuable for us that the minutes that we do have free, we want to spend time with our girls right now. Yeah. Hopefully they're still awake, and like we don't have to do this.
6:49.
Like we want to be with our girls, especially when we've been up since early working and busting our asses. But for us, it's really important to do these Driven Couples because we feel that maybe some of you are not as fortunate. Maybe you guys are negative in your bank account and you're having your payments behind and you can't afford a ticket. And this is our moment to give back and answer questions from everyone without expecting anything in return. We just want to help provide value, and maybe next year we get to meet. Maybe in 6 months, who knows? But hopefully this stuff, like the Driven Couples that we do, hopefully it helps a lot of you, and that's why we do it. So thank you for tuning in, and
we love you guys.
We do it because we care.
Bye, Alpha. See you.
Awesome, guys. I'll see most of you next weekend.
So you want me to make you food?
Thank you. So you're going to make me food? All right, guys. So she's going to make me food. So thank you, man. I need to do these Driven Couples more often.
Bye.